all, and how your preparation is going on, just tell me. So your class has been started. Just let me confirm if I'm audible and visible to everyone. Just let me know if I am audible and visible to everyone. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Your class has been started. Just come and join the class and share and like the class. As you all know, we have already done 9 to 10 classes, right? So in previous class, if you talk about what we have done in previous class, so in the previous class we have done about the basic theory of demand. The basic theory of demand, in that we have discussed about the what exactly the meaning of demand and the exactly meaning of wants, desire, right? And also we have discussed about the quantity demanded, and is it the period of time or a point of time, that we have also discussed. Secondary, now we have discussed in the previous class about the theory of demand, what the factors affect the demand, and which demand, because there are two types of demand, the individual demand and the market demand. So some of the factors which affect the individual demand, and some of the factors which actually affect the market demand. So like we have discussed price of the commodity, income of the consumer, also the price related of other goods, taste and preferences of the consumer, right? Change in the technology in an economy. So these all factors affect the individual demand, but additionally we have also include, to change the market demand, to affect the market demand, we includes the determinants, that change in season, intervention of government, change in the population of a country. So these are some basic additional determinants which actually affects the market demand. So now we're going to study the demand curve, and also we're going to study the exceptions of demand, types of goods that we will study, and also we'll study about the change in the demand. Change in the demand, how it will change in the demand means what? There is two effect, the movement in the demand curve, and the second one is the shift in demand curve, right? So first of all, we have discussed already that what the theory of demand, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. As I have already told you, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. This is what the theory of demand, and other thing remaining constant, we have also named that particular thing ceteris paribus, right? So now let's start to our class. So first of all, I have already told you the theory of demand means, theory of demand means what? I have already known inversely. Yeah, inverse proportion to price and quantity demanded. Quantity demanded, right? This is what the theory of demand actually means, right? This is what the actually theory of demand means. Right. Now we'll discuss about the curve of demand. Curve of demand. So first of all, this is x-axis, this is origin, and this is y-axis, right? So as you all know, the price rises, demand decreases. The price decreases, demand rises. So we can say this is the price and this is a quantity. This is a price and this is a quantity. So we can say, so the demand curve will be what? Like this. Demand curve will be what? Like this. This is what? Demand curve. This is what? Demand curve. Why the shape of this demand curve like this? Why the shape of demand curve arises like this? So we can say, we can write, this is what? D. This is what? D for demand. So just because of MOC, just because of MOC means what? Marginal opportunity cost. Marginal opportunity cost. So just because of decreasing MOC, your demand curve in a downward sloping. This is a what? Downward sloping. Why the downward sloping of demand curve is there? Because of decreasing of MOC. What is the decreasing of MOC? Means what? Not sorry, decreasing of not MOC, just decreasing of marginal utility, diminishing of marginal utility, DMU, decreasing of due to decreasing of DMU, or you can say, you can also write just because of DMU, or you can directly you can write due to DMU. What is DMU? DMU means diminishing of marginal utility. Diminishing of marginal utility. Just because of diminishing of marginal utility, you will get a shape of demand curve in a downward sloping, right? You will get a shape of demand curve in a downward sloping just because of why? Diminishing of marginal utility. As I have already told you the meaning of diminishing of marginal utility, what? That when you consume more and more units of a single or any commodity, your satisfaction goes on decrease. It means what? Whenever you consume one additional unit, your satisfaction goes on decreasing. Your satisfaction goes on decreasing, or you can say your the utility derived from any additional utility, that will decline, right? So that is why you will get a shape of demand curve in a downward sloping like this, right? Also, you can apply the theory of demand as the inverse proportion. If the price rises, quantity decreases, right? Like if your price like this here, right? So if the price is here, so demand, you will demand this much of quantity. But if the price rises, like price rises from A to B, so your demand curve, your quantity will be shifted from R to Q. It means it will decrease. So we can say when the price rise, demand will decrease. When the price less, the quantity demanded will be increased. So that is why we have a shape of downward sloping of this demand curve, right? Is there any doubt to anybody? Is there any doubt to anybody? Okay, this is what the meaning of demand curve and the curve of demand. Now we'll discuss about the changes in demand curve. Changes in demand curve. It means there is something change in the demand curve. When we talk about the changes in demand curve, we have to understand two concepts. The first one is movement in demand curve. Movement in demand curve. First one, we have to study about the movement in the demand curve, and the second one is what? Shift in the demand curve. Shift in the demand curve. Shift in the demand curve, right? So we have to understand these two concepts. There is shift in the demand curve. First of all, we need to understand what we study in the movement in the demand curve. So we study the two things. We study two things about the movement in demand curve. The first one is what? The first one is what? Movement, not movement, extension of demand curve. And second one is what? Contraction of demand curve. I'm writing the demand curve like DC, right? So we can write there is extension of demand curve and the contraction of demand curve in studied in movement in demand curve. Now, what we study in shift in the demand curve? So we study in the shift in demand curve, we study the two things. We study the two things. The first one is increase in the demand curve. Increase in demand curve, right? And the second one is what? Decrease in the demand curve. Decrease in the demand curve, right? So we study two things in a shift in demand curve and two things in a movement in demand curve, or you can say movement along the demand curve. We can also write movement along the demand curve. Movement along the demand curve. We can also write this one. So first of all, what does it mean? Actually, what do you mean by this movement along the demand curve? So first of all, we study about the movement along the demand curve. So first of all, we need to understand the meaning of movement along the demand curve. What actually it means? Movement along the demand curve means what? Just try to understand properly. If I am like, this is a graph of demand curve, right? Here is a quantity, it is a price. This is origin, x-axis, y-axis. Now, if I am saying, let's say this is a demand curve, like this is a this is a demand curve, this one. So if, right, so this is a demand curve, and we can also write this is A to B. Now, if due to any reason, not from any reason, again I'm saying not any reason, just due to change in the price, if I am talking about, if your price gets decreased, if your price goes on decreasing, so what the impact on the quantity of demanded? Will you demand more or less? Just answer me. If your price gets decrease of any commodity, so what will be the impact on quantity demanded? Will you demand more than earlier or less than earlier? Just tell me fast. Definitely your demand will be increased because the price has been decreased. So that is why we can say your demand will increase. It means what? Your demand will increase. Your demand will increase with this curve. Your demand will increase with this curve. Your demand will increase with this curve, right? And with this curve, it means your demand will shift from here to here, right? B2, we can say demand will be, new demand will be occur, that B2 C, this will be your new demand. So this is what, this is just increased with the curve, along with the curve. So this is what extension, this is what extension in demand curve. This is what extension in demand curve, right? So whatever the amount has been increased, or you can say whatever the quantity demanded has been increased just because of only a single impact, single determinant, that is price. Just because of change in the price, you will have a extension in demand just because of a decrease in the price. Only the decrease in price, not any other related things. Just decrease in the price only, your demand goes on increasing. Now this is what known as the extension in the demand curve. Now if I am again asking to you, what will be impact on the quantity demanded if there will be decrease in the increase in the prices? Just tell me the answer. If the demand will if the price will be increased, then what will be impact on the quantity demanded? Definitely you will demand less. It means your demand will be decreased. It means your demand will be less. So demand will be less, it means what? It will like this. So demand will be shifted from A to like C, not C, let's say D, right? So next demand will be what? A to D, just because of decrease in the price of a commodity and increase in the price of a commodity. So this part, the amount of quantity you have decreased, so this part will be considered, or you can say known as the contraction in demand curve. Contraction in demand curve. Contraction in demand curve. Contraction in demand curve. Contraction in demand curve, right? Contraction in demand curve. Have you got my point? Have you got my point, what I just said to you? So if your demand will decrease from A to D, this will known as contraction in demand curve, just because of increase in the price, just because of due to increase in the price, just because of increase in the price. And here I can say just because of due to decrease in the price. So we can conclude that, just because of increase in the price, your demand will be contracted. That is why this is known as contraction in demand curve. Now if there will be decrease in the price, and that will impact on the increase in the demand of any commodity, this means the extension in the demand curve. So whatever the extension, whatever the contraction, this is just done because of change in the price. So we can conclude that both the things has been done just because of or you can say both the things being done just because of only change in the price, just because of only change in the price, so we can write here only change in the price will impact on movement. This is what movement. It's here move from B to C, it's here move from A to D. This is just a movement, not shift towards left or right, just it's move, right? So we can say this will impact on the movement in demand curve. Right? So this is the main thing that you need to consider. This is the main thing. Only the change in the price will impact on the movement in the demand curve. This is what the actual meaning of movement along the demand curve. So other thing remaining constant, or you can say other thing other things remaining constant. Other thing remaining constant. Have you got my point or not? Just let me know. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you all? Just let me know if I am clear to you all. Hmm? Okay. So this is what about the movement along the demand curve, and what we will get: contraction in demand curve and the extension in the demand curve. Now we are going to study that second one is what? Shift in the demand curve. Shift in the demand curve. Shift in the demand curve. Now what does it mean, the shift in the demand curve? It means what? Let's say this is an let's say this is the demand curve, that is D1, right? Like this is x-axis, this is origin, and this is y-axis. This is quantity, and this is what? Price. Just write it down fast. Write it down fast. So this is what the shift in the demand curve, right? So just write it down. And price, quantity, there is what is the difference between? Okay, right. So this is what price and quantity. Now we need to understand when there will be called as the shift in demand curve. So word itself indicating that what? The demand curve will shift towards left or the right, right? So if there will be shift in the new demand curve, or you can say if new demand curve will say, let's say this new demand curve will arise, this is D1, this is what? D2, right? So if demand curve will shift towards rightward, then it will, I can say, this is what? Increase in demand. This is what? Increase in demand curve. Increase in demand curve. When there will be shift in the demand curve towards rightward, right? So this is known as the increase in the demand curve. Now, but if I am telling that your new demand curve is like this, so it means your demand curve shifted towards leftward. Your demand curve shifted towards the leftward. So this is what we can say. What is this? We can say decrease in the demand curve. Decrease in the demand curve. Decrease in the demand curve. So we can conclude one thing here. The first one is increase in the demand curve, and the second one is increase in the demand curve, and the decrease in the demand curve. Sir, why actually it happens? Sir, why actually it happens like shift in the demand curve? So we can say when it will be increased, shifted towards the rightward, so we can say this is called the increase in the demand curve. When it will be decreased, or we can say whenever the demand curve will be decreased towards the leftward, then it will be known as the decrease in the demand curve, just because of we can write here due to change in other due to change in other factors. due to change in other factors of demand curve, demand. So we can, due to change in other factors of demand, due to change in other factors of demand, that is why you are getting the increase in the demand curve, right? And the same thing will be applied here also, due to change in the, we can write here, and price constant. Here you can write price must be constant. There must not be any change in the price, just change in a level of other factors that will only impact the increase in the demand curve and decrease in the demand curve, or you can say rightward shiftness of demand curve or leftward shiftness of demand curve, right? So this is what the meaning of shift in the demand curve. Just let me confirm if I am clear to you everyone, if I am clear to everyone. Okay, clear? Now we'll study some effects. The first one is what we need to understand some effects in demand. The first one is what? Income effect. What do you mean by income effect? Income effect means what? Which actually affect your income without changing in your income. Again I am saying what? Just it will impact your real income without changing in income. Let's say if the prices of goods will be decreased, clearly if the prices of goods will be decreased, so you will demand more, definitely it is true. You can say yes sir, definitely it's true. So if I ask to you, is there any possibility that your income has been increased, that is why you are demanding more? You will say no sir, my income is still the same as earlier, my income is still the same as the earlier, but still I can buy more of quantity of that particular goods just because of the decrease in the price, just because of the decrease in the price. Have you got my point? Okay, I again let you take another example. Let's say if you want to buy more of any goods, two things possible only, there is only two possible, there is possibility only because of two things. The first one, if you want to buy more, the first one is what? If your income will be increased, then you will buy more. The first thing. Second thing, what? If the prices of that will be good, if the prices of that good will be decreased, then again we can say you will buy more of that good, you will buy more of that good. So we can say, conclude here, so if your income is constant, but still your income has been increased just because of decrease in the price of that good, or you can say the effort, the eligibility, the ability are to be increased just because of decrease in the price of that good, that will impact the income effect, are you getting my point? So this is what income effect. Income effect means what? When there will be change in real income of the consumer due to change in price. This is what income effect. This is what income effect. Am I clear to everyone? So this is what income effect. Now the second one is what? Substitution effect. Substitution effect. Now what does it mean? What do you mean by substitution effect? So this word substitution itself saying, indicating the alternative. So if the demand of tea decreases just because of increase in the price of tea, so what you will demand now? You will demand more of coffee just because of because of increase in the price of tea. Again I am saying, just because of increase in the price of tea, you will demand, or you can say you will shift towards to the coffee, demanding coffee, because the prices of tea has been increased. Now we can say you will demand more of coffee. This is what the, because of just having the substitute goods. If there is no substitute goods, if there will be no substitute good, then you will still demand more of or less of that particular good, right? So you stop demanding the tea, you just start demanding towards to the coffee, right? So this is what, if any effect will be impacted on other good just because of change in the price of another good, just this is what substitution effect. This is what substitution effect. So we can write here, when there will be change, when there will be change in the demand of one good due to, or you can write also substitute good, due to change in the price of another good due to change in the price of another good is known as substitution effect. This is what income effect. Now I am asking to you, there is a now the question asking in your CGL exams like this, what will be the impact on inferior good? What will be the impact on demand of inferior good if there will be rise in the price of inferior good, or you can say decrease in the price of inferior good? Now I'm asking to you, what if low quality goods of price decreases, will you demand more or less? Just tell me. Because income effect means, because you have to write one thing, income effect on normal goods and inferior goods. Now there must be need to understand to you all, on normal goods or in inferior good, there will be two things. Either it will be positive, positive income effect, or it will be negative income effect. Now what do you mean this positive income effect and negative income effect? You need to understand these two things. What do you need to understand? What do you mean by the negative income effect and the positive income effect? Positive income effect, it means what? If there will be decrease in the price, like this one, this is a marker. Now the right now the price of this marker is rupees 10. Now the price of this marker has been decreased to 2 rupees, and now the price of this marker current situation, it is rupees 8. Now what happens? Your income is the same, but still you demand more, because the prices of a marker has been decreased, so that you will demand more. So whenever you will demand more without increasing your income, so this is what, without increasing your real income, this is what the positive impact, this is what positive impact, or you can say positive income effect. This is what the positive income effect, if you will demand more of that good just because of the change in the price, or you can say decrease in the price. It will also, the price, if the price will be increased without decreasing your income, you will demand less because of change in the price, or you can say increase in the price of good. So it will impact your real income. So this is what the positive this is what the positive income effect. Clear? Now what do you mean by negative income effect? Negative income effect means what? If the prices of that good is decreased, if the prices of that good is decreased, then still you are not demanding less, or you can say you are less demanding. You are less demanding. This prices of that good decreased, but still you are demanding less of that particular good. This means what? The impact on your income will not be affected. So that we can say there is a negative income effect. There is a negative income effect. So this is what does it mean? Positive income effect and the negative income effect. Positive means that will impact on your income positively. It will increase your purchasing power, will be increased. But in the negative income effect, your income are the same, is the same, but still you are not demanding less or more, right? So this is what negative income effect. So sir, on which type of goods there will be negative income effect, and on which type of goods there will be positive income effect? So simple, this is what simple that you need to understand. Positive income effect will be on the normal goods, on the normal goods. So always remember it. Positive income effect will be on normal goods, and negative income effect will be on the inferior goods. Inferior goods. So I can say, if you are not demanding, I can say now, if you are not demanding more after the decreasing in the price of that good, because you are not demanding, because that good is inferior in nature, or you can say low quality goods. This good is low quality comparatively your income, right? So if I am asking to you just with an example, like you are earning 1 lakh rupees, you are earning 1 lakh rupees. Now tell me, if the street road clothes of prices, and they have made a sale of their clothes, just buy two get three free, buy two get three free, or you can say they are making a sale of rupees, you will get a 50% discount on the purchase of any two shirts or any two pants. Now tell me, you are earning 1 lakh rupees, and you are favored to always buy, supposed to buy only goods from mall showrooms. So is it any possibility that you will shift it towards the street, or you can say that means there is a decrease in the price of the street roads clothes? Is there any possibility that you will buy that street roads clothes after the decreasing of price? Definitely you will not buy, because now you have maintained your status that according to your income, that street roads goods are roads clothes are very low quality in nature, right? So that is why you will not buy that goods. So this will not impact on your income. You will not feel increase in the income. But if the branded clothes, if the mall clothes, malls showroom clothes will be prices of that will be decreased, then you will demand more, then you will demand more, because that actually impacts your income, because the level of your income just actually comparable with that cloth, with the brand of clothes, right? So this is what positive impact income effect. Now I hope so I am clear to you all. Let me confirm if I am clear to you all. So this is what all about today's class. Have you, I think you have understood each and everything what I just told you about the income effect and the uh, substitution effect, right? So now we'll meet you in the next class, and next class is going at 12:30. Just let us meet in the next class. Thank you so much. Hope so I have given you all the concepts in an easy to easy manner, and I have just clear you all with the whole concepts. Sorry sir, network issuing from my side. No worry, you can also watch this class in a recording manner, and just don't forget to comment that how is the feedback that you got from this class, right? So we'll meet you next class. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.